Hello guys and welcome back to another episode of the Solo Guide, where I'm going to be teaching you guys how to go from step 1 to the end step until you guys are big enough to where you could do your own options, your own decisions, and your own things. So in today's episode we were going to build the raft, but we were wiped. So unfortunately I forgot to do a tribe. So, I mean, you see that I died a couple of times right here by a Giga. But I forgot to do a tribe and stuff like that. And this brings me to the option. So, unfortunately, it's going to be this is not going to be a raft design. That will probably be in the next episode. Maybe. Who knows. But this is going to be me showing you guys. So, I made many mistakes. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now what those mistakes are while that Giga is looking at me. Number one mistake was you don't shit where you eat. And where I was doing the series, I was raiding. So, oh boy, here comes the Giga. Oh, okay, so where you, and then just to show you guys right here, you see I can't spawn anywhere besides up here. So, before I do this, hold on one second. Before I do this, I think what I'm gonna do is that I was kiting that Giga inside the base. So let me kite it back inside the base and I'll come back to you guys in a minute. I wanna kite that fucking Giga inside the base and kill those things. Cause if you guys checked out yesterday's episode, this is the base that I raided. And then sure enough, I went about my day and then I come back and then they raided my base. So then I came back here to see these guys, and then you know what? I was like, fuck it, they wouldn't do that. I'm gonna bring the fucking Giga back in the treasure hunt series with Steve the Giga. I think what we're gonna do is that while we still have this base, we're gonna kite this Giga in there and we're gonna get this shit going. All right? So I'll be back to you guys in a second. Alright, and we're back. So, I would say not bad at all, you know? Not bad at all. We got a lot of hide to get our shit going again. We got a lot of things so we can make things. We got a fucking sorry. An Ascendant fucking RG saddle out of that. And we got a Pteranodon saddle. So, I think what we're gonna do is that we're gonna go tame a Terry. Yeah, I think the Giga came outside because I went to get something to eat real quick. So, yeah. There's the Giga. That's nice. So what we're gonna do right now, I was trying to kill that Giga, but it didn't work out, and I ended up running out, and that shit ended up chasing me. So yeah, fuck that. So I think what we should do right now is let's get some carrots. Let's try to get some Ovis, and let's try to tame a high level Pteranodon. Actually no, fuck it, this shit. Let's not tame a high level Pteranodon. Actually, yeah. Let's tame a high level Terry and let's hop over to another server. Because as much as I want to tell you guys, you never give up. You never give up. You should never give up. That's not something you should do ever. You're gonna get raided as a solo player. Just remember that. So, holy shit, dude. There you go. You're gonna get raided as a solo player. Now, the base locations that I told you guys, 9 times out of 10 you will not get rated there, but due to the fact that, like I was saying in the beginning of the episode, you don't share where you eat. I was rating in the server that I was doing the series, So what ended up happening is that people got pissed off and people were like, well, fuck him, let's go raid him. So since they don't know where I come from, they came and they raided me on the solo guide, which in terms gives me a reason to build up, because I was kind of like built, and then I was kind of like, man, like I'm pretty much settled. Like, I don't know what else to tell you guys, because remember, this is a beginner's guide. Like, I'm telling you guys how to get started on on Ragnarok. So that's the thing. I think what we should do is put the carrots on the last slot. So we didn't really lose much. Like, that's why I tell you guys to make that shit out of stone, so then shit like this doesn't happen to you guys and you guys get screwed. I didn't really lose much because that things were made out of metal. I farmed it like I told you, I didn't get much time to play, so I didn't farm hard. Those were just things that I kind of just farmed on the side. Let me some potatoes. Let me get some potatoes. There you go, so we could eat some food. What we need to do is that we need to get some real stuff. So while we're heading down this way to get the thing, but yeah, you don't share what you eat. So remember, guys, wherever you're built, never raid where you're built, because if you raid where you're built, things like this are gonna happen. People are gonna find you and people are gonna raid you. Now, the difference between me and you guys is that I posted my locations, so it wasn't hard for them to go to every single location. I guess in a way, it's kind of like a form of stream sniping. If you you know, in a way it's a form of stream sniping what they did, but then I wasn't really streaming, so it's not considered, I guess, video sniping. I don't know, but they were able to see it because, you know, of course I posted about it. But just remember, guys, it might not happen to you because you guys are not really posting videos, or maybe you are, who knows, but nobody's really gonna find you and stuff like that. So just don't be discouraged that I got raided. And look, I got back on my feet. You know, I got some stuff out of that. I basically enraged, brought a giga inside of there, and I got all this loot. So yeah, I didn't want to drag the video on like that, so that's why I didn't. I just kind of showed it fast paced and stuff like that. But yeah, so now what I'm gonna do is that I'm trying to get a horse so then we could tame a Terry. Nothing crazy. And then I think what we should do is move out of this server. Why? Because for the obvious reasons that if we stay on this server, we're just gonna keep getting wiped over and over and over and over again. So I don't think you guys should stay on a server, especially normally I would say don't give up on the server, continue, because you have other 3 bases, but they know where all my hiding spots are at. So just remember that shit. If they know where all your hiding spots are at, you're pretty much done. You're better off switching over to another server. But honestly, that's why I wanted to build the raft, and the raft is a lot easier to hide it. As well as, let's go get a horse now that we have 86 carrots. The raft is a lot easier to hide. As well as it's very easy to hide, on aberration. So the next thing that I was going to do after this is that I was either going to go to the island server, or I was gonna go to an aberration server. So it really depends. I was leaning more towards aberration because aberration, it really limits the birds count and stuff like that. And honestly, I prefer aberration because that's where I get a lot of my loot runs. That's where I do a lot of my farming and stuff like that. So it's a lot preferable because I like to farm by hand. I don't like to have a lot of tames, because I feel like if my tame dies, that's it. It's over. Like, you know, I'm like, oh, well, how can I farm and do this stuff and everything? So, yeah. So, right now, we're just farming for silk in case our whip breaks and stuff like that. We have the silk to break it. And what we should do right now is go tame a Terry. So, let's go find a horse. And let's go tame a Terry. Alright, guys. So, I didn't want to leave you guys hanging. So, as you can tell, I have a new shirt. It's the next day. I kind of fell asleep. I didn't finish the bolt build, so I didn't want to bring you guys back to it. But what I wanted to do is that I wanted to show you here real quick how to get the resources to build C4. So whether you live here behind this waterfall, or whether you live like if you go through this little crack right there and you make your way around, you're going to be on the other base location that I told you guys. But whether you live there or here, you're still going to be closest to all the resources that I'm about to show you. So in order for you to build C4, you're going to need crystal, polymer, pearls, as well as like you don't need metal. No, you don't need metal. And what was the last thing? I believe it was something along the lines of fiber. I mean, you guys should know how to get fiber. So if you were to live here, you would get the fiber from around here. If you have pearls, you could farm metal all around here. There's metal right there. There's metal right there. This is the runs that I used to do. There's 2, 3 metal nodes in that little corner. There's metal right here. I would make my way here. I would go across the water right here, and then I would farm the metal right there on top of this thing. There is a metal gnome back there as well, if you want. I used to do this all on foot. If you have an anklet, you could do it with an anklet. Farm the metal right there, and then after that, I believe I would go this way. Not much to go by, and you would go. I think there's one right here. Oh man, see, it's I haven't been on Ragnarok in a while because I don't remember spinos around here. I used to farm there, but yeah, this is never like a spino fucking infested water when I used to do it. There's another metal gnome right there. There's one right there where that Diplo is. I think it's like 2 goldies. There's 2 goldies in here. And then what I would do is that I will make my way up this way. And then I would go inside there. Inside this little crevice right here. A lot of times you'll find people built up here, so just be careful with that. Aside from that, I mean, I would say go crazy. But this will be the metal route that I would take. Now, remember, you're a solo player, so you don't need to do big fucking metal routes, you know? You could do this metal. As you can see, there's Goldie there. There's a Goldie there. There's more Goldies this way. There's Behemoth Gates there. There's sorry, not polymer. There's obsidian right there. So if you have an RG, remember, obsidian costs less than an RG. Remember that. What else? I think that's it. And then what I would do is that I will make my way back home, because by then I think I would be encumbered or that sort of nature, and then I would just make my way back home. Now, when it comes down to crystal, if you're not encumbered and you're ballsy and shit like that, I would tell you to come this way. Now I'm showing you all the spots because like these are spots that you can stay hidden while you're farming. And back here I believe, oh, there's metal right there too if you like. Back this way, right in this little like rib cage, there's metal underneath there. There's also metal here. Hold on, is there anything around me? Oh, here comes that. Okay, so if you check in here, there's crystal under here. If you have the anklet could swim really good. If you're on foot, then you know, go underwater and start mining for crystal. There's also these bones right here. They will give you salt. You know, that's up to you if you really want salt and stuff like that. But that is a good crystal spawn if you don't have an anklet, or whether you're solo or stuff like that. You would get decent amount of crystal. Not all the crystal you need, but decent amount of crystal. So now I'm gonna go ahead and show you where to find the actual crystal. So just as a disclosure, and so you guys can know, I am on creative mode, as you can see, because I wanted to show you guys where to do this. I didn't want to leave you guys hanging and be like, well, how do I get resources and stuff like that. So this right here on top of like this waterfall, there is I think, what is it called, a trophy here and stuff like that. But look at this, there's crystal all around here, and honestly you don't need to have maxed out oxygen and shit like that. You can literally come here, get crystal, and then go back up on foot, you know. This is what I used to do, because remember when I used to play on Ragnarok before I went into Aberration, there was no such thing as the RG carry and the anklet. So everything I did it by hand. So just remember that. Everything I do, you could do it by hand. These are all things that you don't need tames for besides an RG. So if you have an RG, or if you have an anklet, if you have an anklet, that's gonna like increase everything you gain by ×2. The best way to get oil would be, your base is right there where the griffin is looking this way, and I'm gonna show you. If you go right across from there, right there where that waterfall is, you'll find oil. Hold on, I'll show you real quick. Alright, so if you come over here, right at the top of the waterfall, there's gonna be like a little cave. Just be careful because there is a lot of dire wolves. Sometimes in here, sometimes raptors. As you know, raptors are the pain in the ass nowadays. You would come in here and you could see oil here. I mean, it's not a lot of oil, and I know that you guys could probably get more oil from the oil pumps in the desert or around here. But look, there's oil, there's oil, there's oil. This is oil. That's oil. Is that oil? No, I think that's a rock. That's oil. What else? If you come this way, there's oil right there. There's oil. There's oil. That's oil right there. This is all oil right here. So that's another thing to look forward to, you know. If you don't feel like getting the oil from here and you're like, nah, man, fuck that shit, then what I would tell you to do is come up this way. Or if you didn't get enough oil that way, I'll tell you to come up this way, go down this way, and there should be 2 oil pumps down this way. Now a lot of times there's not, like, nobody put an oil pump on them, so I would just say hit up drops and then see if you can get oil. Now of course the oil is going to be for your generator, for you to make grenades and stuff like that, you know, so on and so on. There's crystal right there too, but right here there's 2 oil pumps. A lot of people know about this, the 2 oil pumps, because, you know, alpha pillars right there. So there's a lot of people in alpha pillar. Sometimes people are built on alpha pillars, so a lot of times those things will have oil on them. The oil pumps are up there, and then if you come down this way in this little patch right here where this little thing is, if you really want turrets, I would say start out with like X species as well. I believe there's an X plant thing right here. Yeah, there it is. X plant. Just remember that there is raptors on the area. A lot of times there's gonna be raptors around here, so just be prepared to be jumped by them and shit like that. But all around these patches right here, you will find X plants, so you don't need to go to the swamp to get X plants. Like these little patches right here would a lot of times have like the X plant thing, so I mean, just harvest them with a sickle. You're gonna get a shit ton of them, or with the anklet, you know, it's up to you. Okay, so we're back to our house. Now that we did metal run, couple of crystal if you really wanted to get those crystals, and oil if you really needed it. I'm gonna show you guys where to get the polymer and the crystal. So when you come out of your base, you're gonna head up this way, and you're gonna head into the volcano. Okay, once you're in the volcano, right here, but right here, you're gonna start seeing crystal. As you can see, you start to get crystal. There's crystal there. There's crystal all around us. Look, boom, boom, boom. You're not gonna harvest like a million crystal. I mean, just know that. I mean, why do you need a fucking million crystal? Honestly, you shouldn't be making more than like a couple of C4 at a time. I would say 100 at a time. And then because if somebody raids you, remember, you're not using turrets, or if you have turrets, that's up to you. But if somebody raids you, you're gonna give them a lot of money. So you don't want to do that. You'd rather them get the raw materials, or just like nothing at all. You want to craft it, or you want to craft on the go. That's the thing about being a solo player. You don't want to craft the bulk of them, and if you do, you want to hide them on perlovias. You want to hide them on other stuff, you know, hiding like things that you hide and things like that. And I know a lot of people be like, well, parasaurs could detect that, well, this and that. Listen to you this way. I don't know who is that bored that will get a parasaur and travel the whole fucking map to look for a damn perlovia. I'm telling you, if they know you're there, then of course they're gonna do. So if they know, like, let's say there's a particular base that you work out of, don't put your perlovia there. Put it somewhere else. Hide it in the woods somewhere where you know nobody's gonna find it. In the woods where you know nobody ever goes into and stuff like that, you know? I would show you spots, but if I show you spots, I feel like you guys, people are gonna know these spots. And then people are just gonna be like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go look for perlovias there, and then you guys are gonna get screwed over. So find your own hiding spots, you know. It could be in the middle of woods, it could be right here in the fucking volcano if you feel like it, you know. Whatever it is, somewhere where you can access it and get to it, because remember, perlovias do get hungry, and you know, you don't want them to despawn as well. But yeah, all around here, as far as the eye can see, there's crystal. Now, if you're in an RG, I would say come here on foot. I mean, if you want to bring the anklet and harvest with the anklet, that's up to you. But I used to like to come on foot because there's a lot of shit around here, and I don't feel like fighting it all the time. But if you come this way, as you can see, there's going to be obsidian. Obsidian. But then again, I also had a high rarity pick, you know. So that's another thing. If you can find one, good for you, bro. You know, we have more obsidian right here against the walls. Obsidian, things like that, you know. On ×2, that's the shit right there. Also, when you're farming metal, remember, you're going to find obsidian. But you can see that there's obsidian everywhere around here. Well, not everywhere, but that's like one spot where there's a lot of obsidian. Another spot where there's a lot of obsidian up here, I believe is up this way, if I'm not mistaken. There's like a bunch of obsidian up here. Wait. No, it's up this way. Okay. Yeah. There's like a shit ton of obsidian going up this way. I think I harvested it already. That's what it was. But yeah, all around here, you're going to be able to find obsidian. You're going to be able to do this. And if you really want, you could bring some flame arrows and kill one flame arrow. Oh, look, obsidian right there. One flame arrow is going to kill a fucking, one of those mantises. I mean, if it's a high level, it would take 2. But 9 times out of 10, it's going to take 1. And then once you kill it, you're good, bro. Like you could harvest it with a pick or a hatchet preferably. And you're gonna get organic polymer on top of that. So that's a thing right there. Also, a lot of people have said that if you harvest the trees here, you're gonna be able to get you're gonna get charcoal and stuff like that. That is good. I mean, if you really need charcoal desperately and you don't feel like waiting, then I would say here. But my advice to you would be like, don't do it. There's a lot of, as Uncle Apex says, there's a lot of nasties here. And you don't want to deal with that while you're trying to get charcoal. Plus, you don't really get that big of a yield of charcoal unless you have a tame with you. And, that's a thing. So I'd rather just burn the wood. Alright, so we're in the waterfall now. If you go down that little hole right there, you're going to get to the second base that I told you. This will be like your beginner base that I showed you guys. Right here behind the waterfall. Just like I said, if you want wood or beaver dams, instead of chopping trees and stuff like that, just head over to the beaver dams right here. There is so many beaver dams here. And a lot of times you want to get the wood because you want to burn all that wood to turn into charcoal and eventually turn it into spark powder. As you can see, all of this is wood. All of these are beaver dams. A lot of people know about this spot and stuff like that. If you see that somebody is here clearing the beaver dams and you want to stay hidden and stuff like that, then you just go across the mountain. Alright, so when you get across the mountains, there's going to be this thing right here. So I'm sure a lot of people know this about this spot right here. There's a lot of beavers in here. You can get a lot of beaver dams and stuff like that. And then there's also like a hidden cave behind here with metal and stuff like that. I think if you want to build here, I believe you have to build on ceilings, pillars and ceilings, because foundations are underwater. A lot of people know about this. I wouldn't suggest you guys build in here, so don't even try it. But yeah, there's beaver dams here. Don't think that it only stops there. There's also beaver dams all around here. What I like to do is that I like to go first person, and I like to just walk around here. And then a lot of times you're gonna find raptors, so be careful with that. A lot of times you're gonna find beaver dams just scatter about, just around here somewhere, and if not, then what you could do is that you could come up this way, head over this way where there's another giant lake. I know this is why I tell you there's so much cementing paste on this map. It's ridiculous. And you come this way and there's beaver dams right here. All of this is beaver dams, more beaver dams, more beaver dams. I'm telling you, man, like, you're never gonna run out of cement and paste at Ragnarok. Like, cement and paste is something you're just gonna eventually have to throw away to be able to get slots to put stuff away. There's so much cement and paste right there. That's why I'm telling you. A lot of people are like, oh, you could just get organic polymer. I'm like, yeah, but as a solo player, I'd rather have stable polymer. So like, if I don't have enough like pearls and stuff like that to craft, not pearls, electronics to finish crafting C4, I could always put that stable polymer away for later. That's always been my thought process when you live on Ragnarok. So now, for me to show you the pearl spot that I like to use. So like, let's say you live here still and you haven't moved over there, or whether you live there, it's up to you. After you come back with the wood, the beaver, the cementing paste and whatnot and stuff like that, then it comes down to the fact that you need pearls. Now I'm going to show you 2 spots where you could get pearls. Everybody knows Pearl Cave. Everybody knows Pearl Cave, What you're going to need is that you're going to need, of course, fins. You're not really going to need goggles. And you're going to need pants, and you're going to need the scuba tank. Why do you need the pants? You don't really need the pants. Just the fins and the scuba tank is going to be enough. I like to use the pants because it gets cold as shit. That's why. But if you head out this way from your base, if you head out this way and you go and you follow this path, you're gonna get to the place that I told you. So I'll be right there. Okay, so right here, this is the spot that I wanted to show you. Sometimes this spot has sharks, so just be careful with it. But this lakes right here, a lot of times people don't really like fuck around this water right here, and I don't know why. There's pearls right here. If I were to switch it to nighttime, you will see how many pearls there are in here. But I will show you right now the pearls. Hold on. Can I land my griffin right here? All right, here we go. We're gonna land the griffin, and I'm gonna show you the pearls. So how I like to get the pearls underneath this water is that, well, first things first. Let's put on the scuba tank. Let's put on the scuba fins. Okay, this mistakes were made. I should have never put the scuba skin fins so fast. So how I like to get pros here is that I like to go orbital camera and I like to go underneath. Why? Because then look, you can see the pearls. Boom. You get the pearl right there. There's not a lot of pearls right here on the beginning, but it gets better. Look, there's another pearl right there and stuff like that, and you get the idea. You know, look, it gets better and it only gets better and it only gets better. So you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. So now, if you have enough speed, you're gonna be able to do just fine. This is a thing. And if you go down this whole water, you're gonna get enough pearls. You're gonna get like a good, maybe, I don't know, like 500, I would say, maybe more than that, you know, on times 2. Maybe less. Maybe I'm doing the math wrong. Who knows? But I know you're gonna get a decent amount, because I used to get anything between like 10 stacks or something like that, if you know what you're doing. And then you move your way down this way, and this is where you're gonna get the most pearls. You don't really get pearls on that little spot right there, but right here is where you're gonna get the most pearls, and right here is where you're gonna come across megalodons. So just be careful with that. But if you feel like you need more pearls, then you make your way down this way into the pearl cave. So what I would tell you to do is that, first of all, you want to come here with a pteranodon, not an RG, because pearls don't weigh that much. So why risk the RG? And the pteranodon is a little bit more faster. I mean, a lot more faster. You would park him like in here, you know, and then after that you would hide him in there, or you would hide him somewhere around here. I always hide mines in there where I put the griffin. And then what you want to do after that is that you want to run down this way, and you want to go inside the pearl cave. Now I'm gonna show you guys a trick. For those of you that didn't see my top PvP spots and stuff like that, some of you don't know, but what you want to do when you go inside the pearl cave, some people would be like, oh, you know, you want an angler? Yes, but you don't always need an angler, and I feel like an angler is kind of a waste of a time, because now you got to find an angler pen to make. Now you got to hide him. Now what if somebody kills it? Then what are you gonna do? You know, I'd rather just take 2 tanks down here and go this way. Now a lot of people would tell you that the only problem with doing this on foot is that you're gonna run out of stam real quick, you know, because there's a lot of fucking pearls in here. Like, you have no idea how many pearls are in pearl cave. Like, people walk out of here with like 2,000 to no, like, just in the beginning I think people walk out with like 5k pearls, or even more than that shit. All right, look at all these pearls right here on the side. Look at this. See this? You could grab that. I think there's more right here. You know, you made it to the end. You're still harvesting pearls, which there's a metric fuck ton of pearls over here. You know, like, if you completely missing it, you can just go orbital camera, and you're gonna see a lot of pearls all around here. Look at this chunk. Look at that chunk. Look at that chunk of pearls. There's a lot of fucking pearls here, especially on times 2. You're gonna be harvesting a lot. Now, unfortunately, you can't use a whip underwater, so that sucks, because then I would love to use a whip. Just whip him. So in the past, when you were out of stam, what you used to be able to do was just kind of like stay still, you know, and then you will gain stam back, like, passively. But now you can't do that no more. Look, you're fucking out of stam. What are you gonna do? You can't swim up. The only way for you to swim up is for you to, like, kind of like go against the wall like this and go up this way and stuff like that. So now the only thing that people will be like, oh, well, whatever, you know, that doesn't matter. Yeah, it does matter, because there's megalodons that spawn in here, and if you die in here, you're fucked. I don't know how you're gonna get your body back. I mean, unless you come back with another scuba fins and scuba tank, then that's up to you. But my solution to you would be bring a chair or bring a bench. It's up to you. The chair is a little bit better, you know, because it's so single. But look, you place the chair down here because you could place chairs in here. And then what you could do is that you could sit. And when you're sitting down, your stand will come back up. Listen. Simple as that. It's an easy trick. You don't need to use any potions. You don't need to use any, like, none of that shit. You just bring a chair. After you're done, you pick it up and you continue your pearl run. Or if you're done doing pearls, I would say go back out, you know. You could go down that way. It's up to you. I usually go up that way, collect pearls, but then it gets really foggy, so just pull out of there. And then you could go down that way. Once you make it far enough down that way, I believe there's megalodons, so be careful with that. And then you could make your way back out. Once you make your way back out, trust me, all of these pearls would have already respawned. These are all the spots that I use in order to harvest and make C4 when you're on Ragnarok. I believe that these spots will help you as a solo player. Because come on, when you're a solo player, it's all about trolling and it's all about getting C4 and raiding whatever the fuck you can. The more you raid, the better it is. Because the way that you farm as a solo player is by raiding. When you raid, you're gonna get stuff that you didn't need to farm to, but you instead had fun. You had that adrenaline rush of raiding somebody. You enjoyed yourself. You know, the only thing you should be farming as a solo player is metal for flak, hide to be able to make, you know, C4 detonators, and, like, you know, bullets here and there in order for when you go PvP and you need bullets and stuff like that, and whips and stuff like that. You shouldn't be farming for turrets. You shouldn't be farming for bullets and stuff like that, because you should not focus all your efforts into one base. Because what a lot of people like to do is that they like to build one base, they like to expand it, they like to add turrets to it, and then they get raided and they're like, fuck it, I quit. Why? That's why I don't know why people do that. I was gonna say why, but yeah, I don't know why people do that. I think nobody should ever fucking do that. It's the stupidest thing you should ever do. You should do what I'm telling you to do, which is, like, spread your loot, you know? Go everywhere with it. Don't only have one base. Have multiple bases, you know? And then I guess if you want to have one base with turrets on it, then that's up to you. I hope you like this episode. I hope you're enjoying the series. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't. Make sure, guys, to hit that bell button, because a lot of people are not being notified. I know some of you told me that when I did the live stream the other day, when I was recruiting people for small tribes, some of you even told me that you never got the live stream. Like, you never got the live stream. And some of you even told me that apparently you didn't understand why it was when, like, you know, you had the notification, like, you hit the bell button, but for some reason it wasn't on. Just double check that, guys. I don't know what the freak is going on with YouTube, but YouTube is doing that to everybody, it seems like. Or some people, I don't know. Maybe I'm being discriminated. Racism. But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, without further ado, guys. Oh, before I forget, remember, guys, I have a Patreon. Thank you to XL Gaming for being the very first Patreon. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it. You still need to message me on Discord. I believe you messaged me on Discord, but I just want to make sure it is you. If you can message me again on Discord, because I don't want to give the Patreon benefits to somebody that is not you. So thank you very much, guys. Remember, you could always become a Patreon. Just follow the link down below. The description is down below. Just scroll down and you're gonna see Biolazer's Patreon. Click on that link and then you could become a Patreon. It will show you what are the perks of being a Patreon on each rank, and you would, you know, if you guys want, you don't have to. Just sharing, liking, and subscribing helps a lot. Favorite in the video, and like I always say, share it with your grandma, girlfriend, crush, whoever the hell you want. Share it with everybody. Trust me, it helps a lot, more than you ever would imagine. But yeah, guys, without further ado, I hope you liked this video, like I said earlier, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.